Okay, hello everyone. Part 3 of Development Diary number 7 about diplomacy and international relations. Today we are going to talk about antagonism and, wait a second, international organizations, which were mentioned a few times during that analysis. So finally we will find out what it means. What else is there? Uh, Belligerent versus conciliatory values. Alright, and that's it. Fair enough. I assume that's gonna take about, again, 25 minutes, so let's start with antagonism. So, antagonism. After completing your first war of conquest, you may notice a value known as antagonism. Antagonism is how negatively other nations view you in your campaign. So basically, can we just call it um, aggressive expansion? I believe the antagonism just replaces the name for aggressive expansion. Countries with high antagonism towards you will be less inclined to engage in diplomacy and may even act against your interest or join against you in wars. Unlike aggressive expansion, okay, I'm sorry, they are going to explain that. Unlike aggressive expansion in EU4, antagonism is not just a value that is caused by aggressive actions such as taken land in war. Any nation can have a base level of antagonism towards you based on differences of societal values, government types, religion, culture, and language. Okay, so that adds basically another layer of complexity to the game, which is, well, again, fine, very nice of them. Um, this is this is more correct than the aggressive expansion, I believe, uh, because that shows. I'm not gonna say the real perspective of your neighborhood. I mean, of your neighbors and enemies or allies or whatever. I mean, it's like in real life. Like there are some countries with high antagonism between each other, and this is because their culture, their past, and so on. So if that's what this is supposed to represent, awesome. I'm taking it. What else we have? Antagonism that Byzantium feel towards the Ottoman Empire, I believe. The Byzantine antagonism toward the Ottomans, blah blah blah, due to the following factors: foreign culture group, foreign language family, different religion group, same government type, and different societal values from the Ottomans. Okay. In 1337, the Byzantines start with some antagonism with the Ottomans. Very nice. I mean, I like that there's actually a few uh, which affect that, like the culture group, religion group, language family, all that matters now. Very, very cool. Some actions can also cause an antagonism bomb in a location that affects the countries near it in varying degrees depending on how much they care about that location and about the antagonizer country. Example of antagonism bombs are conquering land, subjugating through war, events, or executing prisoners. Fair enough. Over time, antagonism bombs will generally dissipate. You can also directly decrease a nation's antagonism towards you by using the improve relations diplomatic action, and that's it. That's it. Okay, so Barat will suffer a base antagonism of plus 36. Took locations in peace treaty. Oh, so yeah, that's something like aggressive expansion, I see. This translates to blah 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 plus 55 like here. Okay, so this is the antagonism which will increase for these countries. I think this is going to cause some issues. Yeah, it may. Absolutely. In the worst case, nations with over 50 antagonists will start and join a coalition international organization against you. These coalitions will declare war on you if the coalition feels they are stronger than you militarily and will defend one another if one is attacked by the coalition target. Coalition against Hungary. Naval comparison, the coalition is stronger. Land comparison, the coalition is slightly stronger. Blah blah blah. Here we have members. Poland. No, this is not Poland. This is Poland. No, it may not be Poland as well. It's funny that this is the flag of Poland. I mean, the current flag of Poland. What is it then? Is it Lubeck or what? Okay, international organizations. In EU, 5 nations can band together. Actually, that can be a Polish flag. In EU 5, I'm sorry, in Europa Universalis 5 nations can band. I'm sorry, we are talking about international organizations now. Okay, in Europa Universalis 5 nations can band together in some kind of agreement or organization. These groups of nations form what we call international organization. Ha! IO for short. Of course, CBIO, EU5. What else? More shortcuts, please. More. I believe no one will use that name. Like, seriously. There are multiple types of international organizations varying in size from 2 nations to over 500 nations, with some in the start of the game, such as the Holy Roman Empire and the Japanese Shogunate, and others forming as the game progresses, such as Crusades, the Gulfs and the Ghibellines, coalitions, and more. There are over 30 different types of international organizations in EU5, Europa Universalis 5. I'm sorry. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm changing now. I'm changing. Yeah, I've been infected by that virus of shortcuts. Look at that. This is the Japanese shogunate. Holy moly. That must be an interesting playthrough with its own mechanics. That might be really, really interesting. You start basically in 1337. Japan is not unified whatsoever. That must be cool. And also demanding and quite challenging, I guess. But it's very nice. Okay. The Japanese Shogunate International Organization starts with 146 members in Europa Universalis 5 start date. Some of these international organizations will have laws that impact all the members or gameplay rules, such as the Holy Roman Empire's internal rule of no casus belli wars that shape the organization as a whole. International organizations, for the most part, will have a leading nation. This nation has the authority to start the process of enacting laws or kicking out members. However, there are many cases where the leader of the international organization will need either approval of other members through a voting system or international organization value to do actions within the international organization, or both. My god, I hate that name. They could invent something else. International organization values differ from organization to organization, sometimes representing the authority of the leader of the international organization. Oh my god, where I am. Okay, I'm back. The authority of the leader of the international organizations, like in the Holy Roman Empire. In other international organizations, like a religious sect international organization. My god, Jesus. The value represents the influence of the international organization itself. Okay, you know what I hear in my eyes and in my brain now only 2 words: international organization. I don't remember anything from what I read. Only international organization. Jesus Christ. Okay, so what we have here: Kingdom of Bohemia. Select policy to vote for. Oh, this is the Holy Roman Empire. Select Renovation Imperii. Okay. Vote for Renovation Imperii. Blah blah blah. We do not want it. Okay. Yeah, well, this is basically something similar to Europa Universalis 5, somewhat. A consistent leader of the Holy Roman Empire with high imperial authority can eventually unite it using the Holy Roman Empire International Organization laws. Come on, just... Nobody is going to use it. This is annoying. That name. I understand why they are using it, so... to make everything coherent, I guess. But it's not needed. It would be just fine to say united using the HRE laws, and that's it. And everyone knows what's going on. Okay, what's that? It's some another screenshot. The Ilkhanat International Organization, of course, starts with no leader, giving the opportunity to a nation to rise and take the leader role. This brings us to personal unions and the Union International Organization. Let's go. When a single ruler, a single royal family, or a marriage union governs multiple nations, those nations form a union international organization, of course. This international organization, of course, is a shared political structure led by a single ruler, a royal family or marriage union who holds the crowns. While unions primarily act as defensive alliances, they can also cooperate in offensive wars if members approve such actions through the union law voting system. Finally, there is no word of international organization. Okay, so for the personal unions, there is another voting system. So you have internal parliament, and for the um, international things, you have that. I mean, for the personal union, in that case, this is the union law voting system. Cool. I mean, this is another complexity added to the game, which is very nice because that forms some type of real simulation, and I like it. Hopefully, we are not going to be overwhelmed by all of those elements, but this is part of that game, right? Feeling overwhelmed. So I think we have to accept that, which is fine. I mean, it's always about adding more and more. Is that good or bad? It depends. I think for the grand strategy games, this is actually better. So yeah, I'm taking it. Where I finished? Oh, I finished here. Okay. Each law within a union international organization must pass by majority vote among its members. These laws can shape the union's nature, um, from its foundation to the pivotal question of unification, where the senior partner may begin integrating their junior members. In the case of a tie in a union vote, the vote of the senior member passes. Okay. Unification requires a 50-year-old union and follows a process similar to integrating subjects as discussed earlier. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. Question of unification law, active policy, swift unification of crowns, union integration level, used to annex members, enable annexation of members, yes. Swift union unification of crowns implemented on 1st of September 1707. Blah blah blah. There's much more to read. In order to diplomatically annex junior members in a union international organization, of course, the junior members must have the same level of integration as the senior member, and the question of unification must be passed for unification of the crowns. Wait a second. The junior member must have the same level of integration as the senior member, and the question of unification must be passed for unification of the crowns. I don't know what's that same level of integration. What does it mean? No idea. We can continue then. If a new member enters a union, international organization, years after the original formation of the union parliament can be used to get them on the same level of integration as the senior member. Alright? However, union, and you know what, international organizations aren't solely about unification. Some may evolve into federal unions, emphasizing equality among members and granting shared bonuses such as improved diplomacy, greater diplomatic capacity, shared building rights, enhanced cabinet efficiency, and more. Over time, the senior member may diplomatically subjugate smaller ones, turning them into dominions, vassals, or fiefdoms depending on their size, allowing integration outside the traditional unification path in the union. You know what? International organization, of course. Okay, so you can actually form the union, right? And then you can still subjugate your partner. Create of them, I mean, vassal, dominion, whatever you want, right? From the list we've read above. This is nice. I mean, if that's allowed, of course, it's gonna be the matter of remembering that if you are in personal union with someone, you can still try to subjugate them and annex them by I mean following the path for the vassals or whatever. I'm just wondering whether what's better. Like, does it make even sense if you have personal union with some country, like let's say Poland with Lithuania? Does it really make sense to then try to vassalize them? I mean, either Poland or Lithuania, depending on which country you play. Hmm, that's an interesting question, by the way. Hmm, who knows? I mean, they did it on purpose, right? So um, maybe it's really worth it. Or what kind of bonus you will get, by the way, as well. Will those bonuses from both personal union and the vassalage like adds up? I have no idea, but it's possible. So if it's there, that's fine. Okay, last chapter of that development diary: belligerent versus conciliatory values. Seems like another complexity. Let's read it. To finish this development diary, we will discuss a value bar that you should consider while playing. This value bar is the belligerent versus the conciliatory values. On one end of the spectrum, being a belligerent nation will reduce antagonism received, decrease war score cost, increase spy network speed, and increase casus belli generation speed, but at the cost of diplomatic reputation. On the other end of the spectrum, being a conciliatory nation will increase cabinet efficiency, boost loyalty of subjects, and improve your diplomatic reputation at the cost of antagonism gain and longer casus belli generation speed. You may find that in some campaigns, ignoring the opinions of others and expanding through conquest suits your ambitions best. In others, the power of diplomacy, forging alliances, and subjugating nations through the negotiations rather than war may prove the wiser path to greatness. And here we have it: belligerent, societal value. When belligerent is dominant, scales up to. How do we select that? Is that an option to select, or what? How is that activated? Um, well, this is a good question, I guess. Okay. What do we have here? Belligerent or conciliatory? The choice is yours. So, encourage societal value towards conciliatory in cabinet. Oh, so that's the part of the cabinet you basically select it, and I assume you can change it after, I don't know, a few years if you need to. All right. Diplomacy in Europa Universalis 5 is far more than a series of actions. It's a living system of relationships, trust, and influence that shapes the fate of empires. Whether you rule through strength of arms or the subtle art of negotiation, every choice you make will ripple across the world stage. Will your nation rise through conquest or thrive through compromise and alliance? The balance between war and words is yours to command. And that wraps up our look at diplomacy in Europa Universalis 5. If you haven't already, check out the accompanying feature video here. Edit, we have a glorious delivery, a fatal. Okay, yeah, whatever. We've seen that in the first episode. Yeah, so that's it. That would be the end. Plenty of information. Let's be honest. It's highly complex system. Now the question is it going to be complicated as well? I believe this is like about any grand strategy game. At first, that's gonna be really overwhelming, really complicated. But the more you play, the more countries you try, that's gonna be like the second nature for you. Of course, we all know that that's gonna take like not hundred but thousands of hours to get used to everything, to feel comfortable, to do things wisely. But that's part of the grand strategy games. Like they assume that you're going to play for thousands of hours. Actually, this is not the game for um you know, okay, I have 2 hours free. Now I will play some Europa Universalis 5. I doubt you will enjoy it. You might be pissed off a little because of that. Um, I know it because I've tried that in the past. Like, I played for hour or two. I didn't understand anything. I didn't make any move on the map, nothing completely. And I was like, okay, how am I supposed to play that game and enjoy it? It was almost impossible. And then I thought that it's about watching tutorials on YouTube. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You have to play it. You have to spend time. You have to watch it. For example, for me, it works the best if I read it something loudly and think loudly. Uh, I can digest the game much better, especially such complex as that one. So that's my way of playing. That's why I'm recording all of that because that helps me understand the game, and also I have some fun. So yeah, that would be it. That would be it about diplomacy. I guess the next episode will be about what? We can actually check it. I will click on Europa Universalis 5. That's it. We have Tinto Flags. We have some Tinto Flavor, which is about Poland, Lithuania, and Ruthenia. Those Tinto flavors, I'm actually quite interested in them. So maybe that's something I would like to look at. We have Korea and Manchuria. There's a lot of them. We have Austria, Brandenburg and Prussia. That's something I'm really interested. Hell yeah. This is I have a huge respect for German military, German art of war. I hate those 3D models. I think I've said that already, right? Yeah, that might be a cool one. I would love to read it, seriously. So maybe that's something I will do. We have still 14 or 15 days until the game is released, so I can do quite a bit. I think I will skip on other series for now, like Stellaris and Imperatum Rome. I still haven't finished them. But now I would like to focus more on Europa Universalis 5 because that's much more interesting to me. Definitely. Okay, so that's the plan. I will see which one I will select. That one is very promising for me. So might be that one. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed and hopefully see you in the next one. We'll see which one. Once again, thank you. I want to say again, see you in the next one because I always do that. So I will just say again, thank you and goodbye.